I'm walking in next to a pitch and putt, and there's a highway on the other side. I'm talking about death. And this past week, I really went through a really difficult time losing two relatives. One, a 40-year-old with a catastrophic heart attack, and the second, a 72-year-old with a stroke. The 72-year-old went in for surgery, just a normal surgery for prostate, and he had a stroke because they didn't detect his valves were closed up. And so, I come from a really big family that originate way up in the Arctic. And in our culture, cousins are just the same as siblings. And so when you lose a cousin, it's like losing a sibling. And it's the same kind of deal. Like, even if you don't get along or if you were fighting, you're still close, right? And as time passes, you reconcile with them the same way you would with a sibling. So I didn't grow up with a lot of siblings close to me, but I grew up with a lot of cousins. I've got dozens, maybe even hundreds, if you count the second. I had to really go through a lot of tough conversations because you realize that you're no longer the young one and you're the replacement, that you can go at any moment and all the things you wish you said or did doesn't matter anymore because you're gone. And everyone who wanted to say anything to you or do with you, they won't have that chance anymore. And so now we're at the point where I'm no longer the young one. I have younger relatives coming to me asking for advice, asking about life and the history of our family. And you know what? I'm trying to tell them as much as possible because I did the same when I was younger, and I'm so thankful I did, because then one day those people you ask are gone. And one side note, some of you may have already experienced this. Here in the movies, when somebody's dying and they're on their deathbed, they sit there and talk. They say everything they need to say. Everybody talks to them. But it's very rarely like that. What they don't tell you is quite often when you leave this world, you leave the exact same way you came in. Whereas when we're born, you're born screaming and crying. And then once you settle into this world, you take a nap and you sleep. Well, it's sort of the same when you leave. When you leave this world, quite often, you're asleep. I've seen it a few times, especially when it's expected. And, you're either on life support or it's like a gradual process. Towards the end, you just sleep. And the people that love you, they won't get that chance to tell you things. They'll tell you while you're sleeping, and you may hear it, but all those things they wanted to say to you, or conversations or questions, you won't be able to answer them. So I guess I'm trying to make this video is just to tell you to watch your health, talk to those you want to talk to, and ask the questions you want to ask. Spend time with old people, and even like younger relatives, talk to them, because two instances in a few days apart, I lost a younger relative and an older relative. And what I would give to be able to talk to them again. The younger one, to tell her to answer all the questions she had, and she had a lot of questions for me. And every chance I got, I would tell her what she wanted to know. I would tell them how awesome I thought she was. I'd tell her I love her because she didn't have a lot of that growing up. And the older one, I kept thinking I wanted to spend more time with him, and now I don't have that chance. I just spent with him on his bed as he was sleeping on life support. And so nothing, like at my age, I've been through quite a few deaths. And as many times as you experience it, you never are prepared for the next one. And like that, you can just be gone, and it could be your turn. And that's okay. As long as you just reach out to people that are close to you And at some point, just tell them you love them, or if you hate them, then make sure you don't have regrets. If you want to talk to them at some point, let them know why you feel that they have wronged you, or maybe vice versa. Maybe you really messed up with somebody. It would be nice to give that person some peace before you go. Anyways, I don't know why I'm saying all this. So what I've decided to do is start writing down everything I can, because I had a conversation with a younger cousin, and she asked me, she goes, have you written down all these things? Like, she asked me a lot of questions about where we're from, our family, what certain things mean. And I try to answer them. And so she asked me, she goes, have you ever thought of writing something down? And I was like, shit, I'm coming up on 50 years and I probably should. Because my own mother, she passed away just when she turned 70. And I bugged her for years to write a book. And by the time she had a chance, she got dementia and she couldn't do anything. So now I have a bunch of notebooks. I've labeled them. And at some point, I'll tell my wife and someone else, here's everything that you need to know. It's right here. And any questions you have is right here. And my goal now is to write everything down that I can remember, so that the people that I can't talk to, at least they'll have a reference. Because my grandmother actually did that. She kept a daily journal, and now it's been submitted to cultural archives because she kept the decades of diaries. And she wrote down everything. Write it down, don't type it. Write it with a pen and paper. And then once it's done, maybe type it out after that. Have backups, fireproof safe or something. Take care of yourselves and each other. Enjoy the outside.